Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Fantasy Fellow Show. I am your host, the Fellow KGB. You can follow me on Twitter at the Fellow KGB. And today we are joined by Jesse Meineke. You can follow him at Twitter at the Fellow JGM. And we're talking NFC, AFC championship games here. We're going to be looking at the prop bets that we like on DraftKings Sportsbook. A quick intro before we get into that, though. We are 75 out of 125 on the season. It's not the greatest, but it's above, it's a good clip above 50%. So we are doing some good things over here. But Jesse, man, what's going on? How you doing today?
Hey, man, I'm doing well. Midwest is cold today. It was 8 degrees in Green Bay this morning, so.
And I think it's I'm in Milwaukee. It's supposed to start snowing this evening. And I think it's going to be pretty much steady throughout the day. I don't know if there's a lot of accumulation, but it's going to be a nice little snow globe over there in Lambeau. So excited for that one at 2:05. So we're going to hop right into it here. Let's just kind of review the game lines first. The Packers are favored by 3.5. The total over-under for points is 51.5. That's actually, I think it started at 51. I don't know why they bumped it up a half. And then the money line's been steady at minus 190 for the Packers in this one. Anything intrigue you here with just the straight up spreads and the points and the money?
Yeah, looking at these games, I think the Packers are the biggest favorite on the day, but it's still only minus 190. So, you're getting a little bit better than a 1-2 odds. That's not a bad line. I think what the funnest thing to do probably here with the money lines is you get a 25% boost if you do a 2-leg parlay, and then you can also get a 50% live boost. So, if you wait till the game kicks off and then you click opt into the, that live boost, you can hit a 50% bonus. Otherwise, you pick your 2 favorite teams and you just parlay them, you get a 25% boost on that. So either one of those are the way I would approach taking the money line or the spreads on these, just because you might as well take those.
I'd be curious if you took the Buccaneers money line to win and the Bills money line to win and you parlayed both of those. That could be a nice little it's the underdog bet, but that'd be kind of a nice return there. But yeah, it's 50% live boost if you just open the app when the game starts. You could essentially take any of these, or you could take a player prop that you like in within there. So 50% boost. That looks like the only 2 things that we saw that caught our potential here. There's some odds boost for QB special matchups. You might want to click on this real quick.
Yeah, it's who do you think is going to get the most yards? They give you odds. So if you're feeling like you have a good inkling on who's going to throw the most passing yards, maybe throw something there. But otherwise, I think we can jump into the touchdowns here.
Yep, and then just quickly before we get into the touchdowns, I want to just say we are this is our strongest prop bet is the touchdowns. We are 33 of 49 on the year. That's almost 68%, which is, if we could get just our overall record up to 68%, I'm feeling really good. I think next year we could probably hang around 65, 70% with this, as we kind of just morphed over the season into more of a touchdown prop show. And that's where we kind of make our best bets here. So just looking at this real quick, you got I'm trying to get rid of that thing here. I don't want to recheck my location. But Devontae Adams chilling at minus 182 to score. Aaron Jones, I guess, is plus 100. So only Devontae Adams is minus odds here. Do you just take Devontae Adams to score at minus 182? Do we just get that out of the way here?
Yeah, chances for him scoring a touchdown are pretty good. You have to feel good about that. Over-under is 51.5 right now, I think. So there's going to be points. We thought last week Baltimore was going to be points. There were some injuries. Things were odd. But these are 2 more teams that you can feel confident in, at least on the Green Bay side of the ball. They're going to put some points up. And how is Tom going to respond? He's been pretty good lately. So if we're just looking at these last couple games, both teams are scoring. Both defenses are playing good football. So it's going to be tighter. But I think Devontae's a guy, like when the Packers get down to it, he's going to be the guy. Tampa Bay's got a tough defense, especially against the run, and they got their big defensive tackle back. So, the Aaron Jones number, it's positive, which is nice, but can we trust it?
So in my Wednesday preview show, I did kind of look back because both these teams, Bucks and Packers played week 6, and so did the Bills and the Chiefs. Both these games already happened. I don't really think there's too much we can learn from those games. But that was Devontae's first game back from his injury. He did miss, I think it was 2.5 games. from that. I think it was the hamstring that got him a little bit. So it was his first game back. He went 6 for 61. And then Aaron Rodgers did throw 2 interceptions targeting him. And then I think from that day on, I noticed that, I think I've talked about it with you before, but they got more creative with him on offense and moving him around. It's less predictable all of a sudden. But Aaron Jones did find the end zone. He went 10 carries for 15 yards. He also had, I think, 3 for 26 receiving. Yeah, Aaron Jones was the only touchdown for the Packers on the day. You also have Vita Vea coming back on the defensive line. So I don't think we're expecting much work, into the run game for Green Bay. So I think we're going to lean with probably Devontae. We probably have to put Devontae on the site as one of our favorites for the touchdown prop.
Yeah.
But assuming the Packers score 3 touchdowns in this game, and we'll just pencil one in for Devontae. Who do you like besides Adams? Is it Jones? Is it Tunyon? Is it Mercedes Lewis? Is it MVS? Is it Lazard? Like, do you have any tingly feelings for one of these secondary Packer players?
Yeah, I mean, when you're looking at how they're going to score, they're going to get to the goal line. And Aaron Jones isn't always their favorite guy in the goal line. But there's he always gets a shot. So he's probably at plus odds. You have to feel pretty decent that if they get inside the 5, they're going to give him at least one shot. And then, look back to last week. Aaron Rodgers is not afraid to tuck and run. He's got that little fake pump out. So in the playoff game, quarterbacks are willing to kind of take the shot, go for the touchdown. He did it against the Rams. And that's a pretty scary front. So if he's doing it against the Rams, he's probably not afraid to do it against the Bucs. That said, I think Aaron Jones on the Packers is the next safest bet there. I like Robert Tunyon, but he just hasn't been there for me. I don't know.
So Tampa Bay in the start-sit charts that I covered, Tampa Bay does allow like a good amount of tight end points. They do rank 23rd against the tight end, 23rd against the receivers, and they are 7th against the running back. Which technically the Rams, I think, were number 1 or number 2, and Aaron Jones he found some success. So I'm open to essentially Adams, Jones, and Tunyon. I think if you're looking for Packers touchdowns, those are probably the 3 guys to consider for sure. But just wild and woolly out there guesses. Aaron Rodgers missed a wide-ass open Marquez Valdez-Scantling last week it would have been a walk-in touchdown probably from 70 yards out. I don't think Rodgers is going to miss that if that does happen in this game. So at plus 285, that one could be kind of fun. And then just the other guy, because Rodgers in his press conferences all week, whether it was the McAfee show or just his local press conference stuff, the man just gushes about Mercedes Lewis. Like anytime he can do it, he's going to gush about Mercedes Lewis. The word love gets thrown around a ton of times. He's plus 700 to score. You put, a $5 bet on that? That could be a pretty nice return, even if it's not the greatest, potential. I just think you kind of said it. When the bullets are flying, like Rodgers rushing touchdown, like it doesn't even matter who it is. They're just going to get the job done. So kind of interested there. I don't really think anything else sticks out. Like Lazard or MVS, if you had to pick one.
Probably go MVS.
Okay.
He's proven he can hit on the deep ball. You said he gets open on those, and it seems like there's always one play a game that he could take to the house.
Mm-hmm. So then I guess we kind of covered all the Packer bases for touchdowns here now. Now we're looking at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and just how the game went last time. Kevin King did not play. He's actually questionable. We didn't look at the practice reports in this one real quick, but Kevin King didn't play week 6, and he didn't practice yesterday, which is kind of concerning. He didn't have anything Wednesday or Thursday. Mm-hmm. No practice yesterday. That typically would be the bigger receiver with Kevin King, so Mike Evans, which I just wonder again if Jair Alexander gets the Mike Evans treatment. He only caught 1 for 10 against them back in week 6. I think Godwin went 5 for 48, and the guy that got his was Gronkowski. He went 5 for 78 and a touchdown. So the Packers defense, just before I throw it to you, they're kind of good against the passing situations here. They're 5th against QBs, they're 3rd against wideouts, and 3rd against tight ends. Teams, they're able to move the ball with the running backs here. So before I get any thoughts on you, like to me, Ronald Jones, Leonard Fournette, those are probably the 2 guys that I'm looking at. I don't really know how I feel about Evans, Godwin. We know Antonio Brown's not playing. So I guess where do we go with Tampa Bay? If they're going to score 2 or 3 touchdowns in this one, who's our favorites?
Yeah, I keep thinking about Ronald Jones right now at plus 220. That seems really nice. I mean, we've exploited the Packers defense this year against the run, and we've found success. You have to think that Jair is probably going to take Mike Evans just because he doesn't move around as much. Godwin's, he's shifty. He's going to get around. He's going to line up in the slot. It's harder for Jair to cover, lock him down. So I do have some inkling on Godwin, maybe on the yards more so than the touchdown. But when it comes down to it, that front is still not too intimidating from a Packers perspective. Cam Akers we hit last week. Made bank on that. Like I said, we just hit it. So that 220 that's a nice number. Leonard Fournette has been getting the run, but I think we talked earlier how Ronald Jones didn't play week 16. They eased him back week 17. They got him. It's just a few less carries than Fournette last week against a good Saints defense. He still went 13 for 62. Didn't find the end zone, but I have to think when they get down to that goal line, I think he's a guy that they can trust to pound it in. So I'm definitely intrigued. I mean, there it is. The last time they played, he had some fun.
So the way I've been kind of painting this picture on Wednesday, and I did a little bit yesterday too. I did like a maybe 10-minute blast of the video. But Ronald Jones, again, you talked about it. I don't know what happened in that Washington game. Was he active and then just scratched at the last second? He couldn't get in. He couldn't get in the lineup. But last week was his first game back, and I think it's the hamstring or the quad. I think it was the quad that's been bugging him. So he got revved up last week. He had 13 carries, and he actually had a better yards per carry than Fournette. So the way I've been painting this is Leonard Fournette's going to be the pass catching back. I expect 4 to 5 catches in that route, and Leonard Fournette's going to be the kind of just the bang guy who's going to keep getting 3 to 4 yards. And then when they bring Ronald Jones in, that's the one that's going to potentially the doors just open, and he's going to be that that 15-yard run, and then a 12-yard run. So he's kind of the big play upside guy. And I'm still not sure how to wrestle with this for goal line attempts, because it seems like it's like a hot hand approach. Like there's really no rules for Bruce Arians. He's just going to do whatever the hell he wants to do.
Right.
So for me, I've been saying Leonard Fournette, PPR, he has a safe floor, but I think Ronald Jones is the guy with the highest ceiling, as you see here, 23 for 113 and 2 touchdowns, a couple catches for 8 yards. So I like Rojo quite a bit. So if we're gonna click on somebody here, are we taking the Rojo and putting Rojo on the site in this one?
Yeah, if you tell me running back scores for the Bucs, which I think is very likely, I think Ronald Jones at plus 220 is too nice to pass up. I think, when he's healthy and he's in there, Ronald Jones is the guy. I mean, Fournette comes in there as a change of pace, but when he's healthy and going, week 17, good example, he got the touchdown against the Falcons. He was banged up clearly in that wild card. He came back last week, didn't get the touches as in favor. It went in favor of Fournette, but we're back another week healthy. We haven't heard anything bad going towards Ronald Jones, so I think that's just trending up.
So do you have any other good feelings about touchdowns in this game? Or are we just going to put Devontae and Ronald Jones? Should we click on Aaron Jones in this one? I kind of think Aaron Jones has a good chance, but I almost feel better about Ronald Jones scoring over Aaron Jones. I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah, when you're looking at the odds difference, I'll take I think it's a split between Aaron Jones and Ronald Jones scoring. So if you're telling me I'm getting that much better odds, I feel a lot more secure about that bet. Outside of other Buccaneers, Gronk is an interesting guy, and Godwin's a guy who has scored touchdowns. He's been scoring at a good clip, and if they're going to be moving him around, no Antonio Brown, you have to think his targets are going to be up. So all he needs is one of those to find the end zone. I like his yards number as well, but that has been beaten up a little bit. We can get into that in a little bit.
So as far as Bucs receivers, if you want to take Evans or Godwin, I think we're both in agreement. Godwin is our preference in this one. If I'm going to rank the touchdowns, I'm probably going to rank for Tampa Bay Ronald Jones, Godwin, Gronk, Evans. For some reason, I'm not in the Evans boat this week. I think Jair is going to do a pretty good job on him. And Scotty Miller, if you're feeling risky there, Scotty Miller could do some things. The other one I can throw out is Cameron Brate. Cameron Brate could be a sleeper.
He's got potential. He's gotten some looks this year, those 2 tight end sets. These are the 2 that I feel the best about, the 2-game slate. So maybe we'll take a peek. Let's just poke at the passing yards real quick. These seem a little too high for me. 289.5 for Brady and 279.5 for Rodgers. People are kind of taking this one. Rodgers just almost threw for 300 yards on the Rams. Right.
So that one, if you're looking at passing numbers, I'll give me the Rodgers one over the Brady one. I don't know if I'm going to put it on the site, but I think you would agree with that as well. Looking at passing touchdowns now, Rodgers at over 1.5 or 2.5. People that's free money, I think, for the 1.5 over there. If you want to take it, the odds aren't really exciting, but that's kind of a really good spot there. Do you take the Brady over 2? Again, that one's beat up pretty bad. Or are you going to gamble with Rodgers over 2.5?
Yeah, do you think the question I think here is the minus 200, and that's a little too much for me, but can either of them get to 3 touchdowns? Yeah, I mean, Rodgers could definitely get to 3 touchdowns. So, Brady, I think that he could get there. I don't know. It's tough. Like, if you're the Packers defense, what are you scheming to stop? It's a tough offense to scheme against. They have 2 good running backs. They have good weapons in the passing game. It's Tom Brady. He's going to be able to find your weakness. So you almost have to play just kind of like a base defense and just hope your defense is better than him. I don't know. It's tough.
I'm really hoping the Packers just decide to say, you're not going to run on us. If you they're going to put it on Tom Brady's hands, because I've watched a lot of Tom Brady this year, just being a weird Buccaneer and a Green Bay Packer fan. Like, my 2 favorite teams. This is stupid. I don't know how to feel this weekend. I want the Packers to win, but I won't. I mean, if the Bucs win, I'm rooting for Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl.
Right.
So I've seen a lot of risky Tom Brady throws. Bruce Arians is the risk it for the biscuit guy, right?
Right. So he likes to chuck it.
I'm not sure about interceptions in this one, but if there's someone to throw an interception, it feels like it's Brady over Rodgers. I don't think you get Rodgers to throw another interception against this team.
I like it.
He's making sure that he doesn't get that.
Yeah.
So the rushing numbers real quick.
Ronald Rojo, dude.
5.5, man.
Yeah, we got to pound that.
This is the prop lock and drop right here.
Yeah, absolutely. I checked that earlier. I was waiting.
All right, if you're watching live, lock that one in right now. Ronald Jones over 35.5. That one's the one that I think we're going to pound the table. It's minus 124, but still, that's whew.
I see no reason why. If he got 63 against the Saints defense, why?
So he can get that done in 9 carries. I'm thinking 9 times 4 is 36. That seems really like a really good spot there. I don't really care about the Ronald or the Aaron Jones or the Jamal Williams. I don't see Rodgers having to scramble for more than a huge chunk. So I think the one for rushing, we love the Ronald Jones. That's probably the one that we both kind of lit up on the same time.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Receiving yards. Did you say you had something here?
I mean, I like God. I mean, without Antonio Brown, I think Godwin. There's some good data that shows Godwin's going to have the good targets, and he's probably going to hit that 63.5. It's minus 143, which is it's beat down a little bit, but you can still hit. You throw 20 down, you're still getting some good, decent money, decent return there. 63.5 just seems too easy for Godwin in a game, must win a game. He's a reliable target for Tom Brady, and I think he's going to get that 8 to 9 targets. That's going to easily get him to 63.5. So,
dude, I think it's Adams over 87.5 for me. We've kind of talked about it, man. This is put up or shut up time. The stars are going to be out.
Yeah,
Devontae is going to score. He's going to do things. He's going to flirt probably over 100 yards. At minus 124, I think I do like that one. Again, it's a high number. I get it if you don't want to do that. If you want to pivot, like Marquez Valdes-Scantling, he's a guy that we kind of talked up a little bit ago. He only needs a 30-yard catch. And what I like about Marquez, and you've probably seen this as well, is he's doing the short and the intermediate routes a lot better this year. I think that's the area of the game that really developed from last year. So he could do that in 2 catches, and it doesn't even have to be the deep bomb. So it's kind of beat up at minus 148, though, kind of like the Godwin number here. So I think we do like both of those.
Which one do you take there?
I mean, I also like the Aaron Jones at 23.5. He had, I think, 3 for 26 last week. I like Jones better in the passing game than I do in the rushing game.
Yeah, honestly, even the Jamal Williams 6.5 was like
one catch.
That seems like a nice little number. Jamal Williams gets enough playing time that if he gets one dump off,
and they kind of showed us last week that A.J. Dillon was going to be a part of this 3-headed attack, but he gets hurt. He's practicing. It looks like he's going to play this week, but I'm not sure in a game like this, like how much can we really trust A.J. Dillon? Yeah, he put the ball on the ground last week. I'd be shocked if he gets more than 3 carries in this one. I think Jamal Williams will be on the field quite a bit. At minus 112, are we feeling Jamal Williams? What did he do last week?
He had 12 carries, no targets though. So he's getting touches, but he's not getting.
Dude, he went 12 for
targets.
5 against the Rams.
I know. That's pretty good. I mean, if you look at his
Jimmy Williams is at 20.5, and he went over that number against the Bucs the last time they played in a game where they got blown out by 28 points.
That feels kind of. I mean, the Jamal numbers look very low to me.
30.5 total rushing and receiving. That's the prop.
That's it. I think that's good. That's a good line. I think Jamal is going to get used. He's a good, reliable guy. And like you said, A.J. Dillon, he had the fumble. This isn't a game where you mess around with a rookie who has not gotten a lot of run. This is a game where you stick to your guys that you can trust. Jamal Williams is a reliable guy.
I feel good about this one, 30.5.
Yeah, I like that. That's 118 was the rushing yards was 118 as well.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one here. Do we want to look at anything else, or do you think we covered this game enough? I kind of want to see – I like looking at the 2 touchdowns because if there's going to be a guy to do it, it's going to be Devontae Adams. He's at plus 225 if you're feeling it. Nothing else really. I think that's the one guy. If you're going to bet on someone to score 2 TDs, Adams is the guy to do it. Let me just see. Receptions? Anybody interested in receptions maybe? Devontae's – he's got to get 8 receptions to get over –
Wait, Godwin's at 5 and is that 5.5?
5.5, yeah. He had 4. I think it was 5 for 48 the last time they played. And this is going to be a different game script, man. They're not going to be up. They're not going to be winning by 28 points for sure. So,
I feel pretty good about that one. So, I'll think a little bit on it. Is there an interception prop? I don't know if there is in DK. That might be like a Bovada. There it is. QB interceptions. What's Tom Brady?
25.
Minus 125.
Going on the site. It's going on the site. Tomas.
All right. I think we covered this pretty well.
This is the fun one, man. So it looks like we can actually take one. I think we should do 6 and 6 from each game, right?
Yeah, a 5 and 5 feels 10. Yeah, I mean, if we get 10, I think that's.
We condense this anyways, though. So we usually just like to fill out our 12.
Right. I mean, it's 2 games, so like if we get 6 up on the 3 and 3, I mean, whatever we feel good about. I feel good about the 2 touchdowns, the yards, and then the Brady interception's a fun one because, like you said, he slings it, man.
There was 3 interceptions that should be had by the Saints last week. Like They were so close.
Yeah.
But Buffalo Bills, Kansas City Chiefs, man. I'm not even going to – I don't even have to tell you why, but Travis Kelce minus 125, this is stupid. Like,
Kelce
against them back in week 6. He didn't have – that was a weird game because it was a rainy game. It was a game that was postponed. It started at like 3:30 or something like that on a Monday afternoon. A really weird rainy game, Monday afternoon. Kelce scores 2 touchdowns. Tyreek Hill only goes 3 for 20 in that game, and he's minus 134. But he didn't score last week. So is he likely to shut down like Tre'Davious White? He's probably going to get a lot of coverage with Trey White here. So I think that makes me even like Travis Kelce even more.
Right, yeah.
Is that a prop lock and drop there?
I think Kelsey's lock it in. I mean, if you tell me Kelce versus Hill, Kelsey's just a safer option. They designed specific plays for him. Then again, that said, I think Hill's a guy that I don't know if Trey White necessarily feels good locking him in a one-on-one situation. If they really want to stop Hill, they're going to need to bring a safety over. But if they get a little overconfident and think, Trey White, you're our guy, go and shut him down, I think Hill burns him for 1.
Okay, minus 134. I guess my next question was going to be, I mean, we fully expect Kansas City to score at least 3 touchdowns in this game.
Right.
We're reserving a spot for Kelce. I think Tyreek Hill is the easy, obvious choice here. I don't think Clyde Edwards is the next obvious choice at plus 135. How many rushing touchdowns did Clyde have this year? Like 3?
Not a lot. I'm just nervous about the rushing game in general. He's questionable. Darrell Williams is a guy now. Bell's out, so he's questionable. I don't even know if he's ruled out, but he's definitely questionable. It just feels like a game where you can pass on the Bills, and the Kansas City Chiefs have one of the best passing games. Why do they not just exploit those weaknesses? So
I'm actually I'm pretty interested in Darrell Williams. He scored against these guys the last time they played. Clyde Edwards walked all over them. I think he had 20-some carries for 161 yards. So they're looking at that game and thinking we can run on these guys, but they were also missing a couple starters. I think their best linebacker was out, Matt Milano. So I'm not expecting a crazy Kansas City run day. It's also Clyde Edwards' first game back in how long? Like, Darrell Williams kind of feels like the safe play, but maybe we'll look at his rushing receiving yards, something like that. I don't know if I want to plunge into the touchdown. So we're going to take Kelsey and Hill to score touchdowns. If you want to get cute, like Darrell Williams, Demarcus Robinson, if Sammy Watkins doesn't play, Mecole Hardman, that could be a punt return touchdown as well. But let's pivot to the Bills, man. If the Bills are going to do it, is it Diggity Diggs at -106? Is it Josh Allen for the rushing +135? We haven't really gotten much out of the Bills, in this playoffs. I don't think they've been tested too much last week. Only 2 touchdowns, I think it was. The one defensive. So
yep.
How do we do the Bills here?
Yeah, we have a couple questionable cornerbacks on Kansas City's side as well. So I think you got guys that are a little banged up, but they're practicing. They're just questionable, So I mean, Tiggs just seems like he's the guy, right?
This has kind of been the theme of the show, man. Like, just take the studs,
Yeah, I mean, can Josh Allen get into the end zone? Absolutely. I mean,
so they don't have Zach Moss, and any threat that you thought might have had, of a running back taking a goal line carry away from Josh Allen, like, that's gone. Like, Singletary, he's going to get him there, but are they really going to hand it off to Singletary like more than one time in the 5? If he doesn't get it on the first time, they're going to something else. So Allen at +135, that one could be kind of fun. I'm just going to click it for now. We're getting kind of up there in the bets already, though, for this game.
I'm intrigued. I mean, I think this is another game. We expected the Ravens-Bills to be high scoring. The Chiefs aren't going to let us down. So I think we're going to see it.
One quick thought. Anything on, like, Singletary to score a touchdown, I don't feel great about. John Brown, I'm kind of warming up on that. I maybe like +190. I could see it. Cole Beasley +275. Dawson Knox. Like, those are like that bar of 4 players right here. If you just had to bet, if someone gave you $100 and they told you to bet on this one, like, who would you pick to score a touchdown?
Singletary, Brown, and Knox, and Beasley. Man, I wish I knew the status of Gabe Davis. I'd probably take Singletary. I am almost more intrigued, though, with Zach Moss he's out of the game, or he's just like, is he officially out, Zach Moss, or is he just not getting listed for
He's an IR, man.
He's out. Yeah, so
surgery.
The Singletary yards make me a bit more intrigued, if anything. I mean, he's going to be out on the field. Kansas City, man, their defense is weird. Sometimes they show up, sometimes they don't show up.
So I think what I'm getting is we're going to stress studs in this one: Kelsey, Hill, Diggs, Allen. Those are the guys you want for touchdowns. Maybe we kind of, take a peek at the other props here, but kind of the theme, man. This is the money's on the line to get to the Super Bowl here. You got to go with the best players to score touchdowns, because I think that's just kind of an easy call. Pivoting to the passing yards, both quarterbacks are projected over 300 yards. 305.5 for Allen, 310.5 for Mahomes. That's kind of too high for me. I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah, it just builds the confidence that the passing game is going to be featured in this one.
So looking at the rushing yards, I don't expect this game to be a huge rushing game. But that's a touchdown passes. My bad here. Anything on the touchdown passes real quick? Josh Allen, 2.5 or 1.5. I can ignore.
Those are the over 1.5 is pretty high. I think we're.
So the last time these guys played, Josh Allen was the leading rusher for Buffalo. He had 42 yards. He's at 33.5 here. If we'd like him to maybe score a rushing touchdown, I mean, I could just see like Josh, like if it wasn't Rodgers for the MVP, Allen was right there. So again, studs are out. Josh Allen, he can get that in maybe 4 or 5 attempts. 33.5. Otherwise, it's Singletary or Williams. Anything there?
People are going into Singletary a little bit. I just I can't with confidence trust them to rushing the ball enough. I think it's just going to be put the ball in Josh Allen's hands and let him do his thing. 33.5 is not a terrible number. It's just, I guess
numbers.
Yeah, give me the touchdown. I'll take the rushing touchdown. Well, I'll take that.
Now, the thing that I noted. Okay, so before we get into it, 54 implied point total for this game. Chiefs I think it's 3.5 now. Increased a little bit, but if you're going to beat the Chiefs, and I think we've talked about this before, you need to run the ball on the Chiefs. That's one of their weaknesses here. They also give up a healthy amount of tight end points, so maybe Dawson Knox is in play here now. But the Bills, they're going to give up touchdowns to the tight end. They're going to give up tight end points. So that's why I like Kelsey. That's why I love Kelsey. But again, the Chiefs, like if you're going to beat the Chiefs, I think you need to run the ball, and you need to keep Mahomes in that offense on the sideline. You need to get that defense tired. I don't think Buffalo can do it.
Right. So and that's like, is it Josh Allen? Is Josh Allen just going to have running room to go and get 40, 50 rushing yards? Like Devin Singletary, man, he's fine, but he's proven that he's not hitting his overs enough to feel confident, even without Zach Moss in the game. I mean, it's just a tough sell.
Last week against Baltimore, only 7 attempts, 3 yards. But against Indianapolis, which, I mean, I could argue Indianapolis is a better defense than Baltimore with those linebackers, 11 for 54 and a touchdown.
I mean, think about it this way. So that Indy game, that was down to the wire. It was a competitive game. It was back and forth. The Baltimore game, they didn't need, there wasn't like a need. They were never stressed out. And then the end of the game came, and guess what? It was over because Lamar was out. So that Indy game, I think, is a little bit better representation of what we're about to get. And so I think that 11 for 54, I mean, that feels pretty good. And
just in the past here, I don't know what happened in the Miami game. Like, they just threw the ball. They didn't do anything.
They smacked.
4 for 35 against the Patriots, 3 for 33, and 2 touchdowns against the Denver Broncos. He played well against the Steelers, so their numbers, like, he's probably almost like 7 to 8 games he's hit that over this year. So that one's a thinker.
It's a thinker, yeah. I think I like our TD bets better.
Yep. So we'll move on to the receiving odds real quick. Yeah, so again, trust studs. Tyreek, Kelsey, Diggs. These numbers are massive. Tyreek Hill, though, 77.5. That's the lowest one of the studs. Otherwise, Kelsey and Diggs both at 94.5, which is pretty crazy. Does anything stick out to you here?
I mean, Kelsey and Diggs both 95. If you were telling me one of those is hitting 100 yards, who are you taking?
Kelsey. Although, did Diggs lead the NFL in receiving yards this year?
I think Diggs might be the guy for me. Diggs hit 128 versus the Colts. That is pretty nice.
All right, Stephon Diggs led the NFL.
Diggs has 128 and 106 in 2 playoff games.
All right, I'm done. I'm convinced. We'll put it on there.
I mean, if we can find one we like better, but I think that's the one I like. That gets us to 10 total. And Diggs is a guy who Josh Allen is going for, man. He's going to look at him. And Diggs is beating his corner. You have to double team him, and then you're just exposing yourself, to some of these John Brown, Gabe Davis long shots.
We got a comment in here that he kind of is along our line of thinking. He says he thinks Diggs has a higher chance of yards, but Kelsey could get the 2 TDs. So that's kind of what we were thinking.
Yeah.
Whereas the game script too. Chiefs are the favorites at home. That should lead to more passing. There should be more passing attempts for Josh Allen than Patrick Mahomes in this game. So yeah. I think Diggs, if you're taking a yards prop, Diggs is a really good call. With Tyreek Hill, you're betting on him. I mean, I think Tyreek Hill might have had it last week even with, 2.5 quarters of Patrick Mahomes here. So just looking at this, 110 against Cleveland, man, 8 for 110. Like that. But again, against Buffalo back in Week 6, only 3 for 20. That's a little concerning. But Tyreek Hill almost seems kind of just too volatile at the yardage prop. What do you think?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, he's a guy who there's games where he only shows up for 2 or 3 catches. I mean, it's tough. What about a Kelsey 2 TD or what kind of odds are we getting on that?
2 TDs, you say, huh?
I don't know if it's something we put on the site, but I think it's something we think about.
Plus 350 for the Kelsey 2 TDs.
Don't hate it. I mean, it's something to think about.
Okay, how about that? Because we talked at the beginning of the show, you have your 50% boost, live profit boost. You live bet Kelsey 2 touchdowns.
Is that something you can? Yeah, if that's something you can get, I think yes. I think you can maybe reasonably bet a 50% live boost for like Kelsey to get the next touchdown. So that's always in play, I think.
I'm going to think about that one. Do we want to look at maybe just the rushing and receiving numbers? They only got Singletary at 63.5. I don't have any confidence with Singletary. It just seems like Buffalo just can't establish the run. If you're betting on Singletary breaking like a 30 or big play in the passing game, probably I think I can ignore that one. Just receptions real quick. They got Tyreek at 5.5, but people are hitting that one at -165. Travis Kelce, he would need to hit 8 receptions to get the over. That one, that one's there. And then you got Diggs at 7.5. I think I like the Diggs over 7.5. If you're taking,
Diggs feels pretty good. Dude, Singletary. They've given me no. The Bills don't have confidence in Singletary, so how can we have confidence in Singletary? That's it's a tough sell.
Mm-hmm.
Diggs 7.5. He had 8 last week, and he had 6 versus the Colts. So that feels like a pretty good number.
Any interceptions in this one for Mahomes or Allen?
Yeah, I mean, there's always a chance, but I don't think that Tom Brady interception stands out. Though I feel good. We have 10. We have 10, 5 from each game.
We got 10 on the slip.
It feels pretty good. I feel like. Like we're talking about, trust the reliable guys. Trust the guys who have been doing it for these teams, and for the Chiefs and the Bills, I mean, it's Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen, hands down. It's Kelce, it's Hill. And then on the Packers side, I mean.
We got a question real quick from Jam Bam here. He was asking, he might have missed the beginning of the show. He was asking about the Packers and Devontae Adams. With 8 receptions, do we think Adams is going to get over 8 receptions?
Well, he had 9 against a Jalen Ramsey defense.
So he's at what, 7.5 probably. I'm probably taking the over. It's -152. It's not the best, but I think with Adams, pretty much everything's going to be pretty tough odds there. So I do like Adams there. And interesting, you play on Bovada as well. So I don't live in Illinois or a legal state for DraftKings, so I do use Bovada myself. I haven't checked out the lines yet, but I also, if anyone else wants, I have a link for Bovada in the description below. If you guys want, we could probably put Jesse's DraftKings link in there too if you guys are in one of the legal states for DraftKings. But
Michigan just went legal, so if you're in Michigan, take advantage of the free money this weekend.
So Jesse, do you have a few more minutes for us yet? I just want to know, man, who you got? Packers, Bucks, straight up.
You got to take the Packers, man. They have They got the momentum. They have the story right now. Ted Williams, if you haven't heard, he passed away. He built a lot of the Packers' success. Ted Thompson, Ted Williams. Slap me for that one. I'm thinking about Rolling Showdown right now, but it just seems like the stars are aligning for the Packers to make a nice run. Rodgers needs 2 Super Bowls. And I think he's going to get it.
The Packers' money line moved from 190 to 182, -182.
Somebody's throwing some big bets down.
Someone just put some bucks on the Buccaneers there. And then with the Chiefs and the Bills, I already have my thought on this one. I think Buffalo's doing it. It's kind of like the stars are aligning. They're getting a team right now with the Chiefs that they're banged up on defense a little bit. Patrick Mahomes, I just wonder if there's any hesitation with him to do something that he normally would do, that could, just affect his thinking and his mental processor. The Bills are hot. They weren't tested very, very well last week, so I think people are kind of forgetting just how good they are off the 1-game sample. But I think I like the Bills in this one in Kansas City. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this is the game. I think this is the one that's both these teams have valid shots and valid arguments to be in the Super Bowl. They both have MVP candidates. Josh Allen's taking the leap. This is it. This is it for him. This is the culmination of this year for him, and I think he can do it. I don't see a reason why not. He beat the Colts, a great defense. He beat the Ravens, a hot team. So he's already beaten arguably the best defense in the AFC outside of maybe the Steelers, and he's beaten probably the hottest team coming into it. And now
he's beaten the Colts, the Steelers, and the Ravens in the last month and a half.
Yep. And now he gets the Chiefs, who are the reigning Super Bowl champions. This is the final test. It's like the Elite Four he's going through right now. And this is it. And he's got Stephon Diggs in his back pocket. And a defense that's been playing. Yeah, and a defense that's been playing pretty well. He's got his full arsenal outside of Zach Moss. You get John Brown back, who hasn't really fully been unleashed, I don't think. And, Josh Allen.
So we got a question from MHP. MHP, man, thank you for hanging out. You've been watching a lot of these prop bets, so we appreciate you a lot. He's asking, do you guys think the game totals are going over? We got 52 for the Packers. It's going to be a snow globe there. I don't know if KC is going to get any of the snow, but 54.5. In my head, I think KC Buffalo, that game, I think that's going to be under. With Tampa Bay Green Bay, I think that one could get a little bit more hyped with the veteran quarterbacks kind of dueling, essentially. So I would lean towards the under in Kansas City Buffalo, even though we like a lot of the passing in the situations there. What do you think, Jesse?
Yeah, I mean, I think both these games feel kind of like, 28-21 gets it done in either game. I think if one team were to explode, it'd be the Packers. I think Aaron Rodgers is a guy who's thinking about chucking 40 up against the Buccaneers. I think the Chiefs-Bills is going to be, I don't want to say slugfest, but it's two really good teams. It's going to be competitive football. I think it's going to be a great game. I don't know if it's going to be that shootout that people are hoping for. But, I mean, it's still going to get to, I think 28-21 is still a valid game, a 28-24. So I think it's flirting around that 54, but, I can't say, especially with Mahomes' toe, we don't know exactly what the mobility issue is going to be like. So you just have to think about that a little bit.
So here's my thinking with these games. Tampa Bay, Green Bay. You got old quarterbacks. Urgency is in the air. I just think there's going to be more points in that game than Buffalo and the Chiefs. Kansas City, they've already won a Super Bowl. I don't know how urgent they are going to be this year. I think Buffalo might have that more energy and might come out hot, and we'll see if Casey responds. But for just over-unders, I think Green Bay, Tampa Bay, that one, I expect each team to get 3 or 4 touchdowns. And then with the Bills and the Chiefs, man, it really depends on the running game, I think, because we might see one team just pop off a couple big runs that we didn't expect, and then all of a sudden that game just kind of goes to a different game script. So I'm interested there. Jam Bam's asking, if we had to pick a quarterback to get 3 touchdowns, I think we both agree it's Rodgers.
Give us a Rodgers rate.
Let's see here. What else we got? Awesome. Yeah. So we like Aaron Rodgers. If you got some time yet, Jesse, I kind of want to see if we can hop into drafters, maybe for the NFL. I think it took me maybe 5 minutes to do this last night.
Let's do it.
Let me see if we can get in here. So we need 2 more drafters, and we're just going to do the Sunday Splash. Now we're going to draft against 3 other people. So it's a field of 4, but we get entered into a field of 500 with a chance to win 150. We'll see. So let's just hang out for a little bit here. We need 1 more person to join. So this might get an update for me once that happens. But I don't know, man. I guess just kind of recapping our bets real quick. We got Devontae Adams to score a touchdown -182. We did kind of say if you want to get a little risky, +2, the 2 touchdowns for Adams does seem like an interesting bet there. We got Ronald Jones score a touchdown. We have Ronald Jones over 35.5 rushing yards. That seems way too low. That's probably the one bet where we both lit up and we're like, whoa, that's way too low. And then we also got Jamal Williams over 30.5 combined rushing and receiving. So we like that one. And we got the Tom Brady over 0.5 interceptions. We think that's going to be a mistake there. And then on the Chiefs-Bills side, we like Kelsey, we like Hill to both score touchdowns. We like Diggs to score a touchdown. We like Josh Allen to score a touchdown. And then we like Diggs over 94.5. Any other final thoughts on those games real quick, Jesse?
No, yeah, I think just relating to the theme that, we've been, pounding here is reliable guys, studs. That's what you take in a game of uncertainty. It's one game. A lot can happen. These game plans can totally shift from what they've been doing this season, but you know who's going to be involved.
So we're into the drafters situation here. I'm not sure, Jam Bam, if they do look into your state. I can't remember, but I did put, if you're interested in drafters, they do a lot of best ball. They do a lot of these drafts. It's kind of daily drafts. It's not really salary cap building lineups like DraftKings or FanDuel. So I kind of like the different theme of a DFS. I'm not sure. I did put a link in the description below if you guys want to try out drafters, and we can check that out. It's a really smooth website. I've been kind of telling Jesse about these, and I almost like my chances better of drafting against people versus submitting like a salary cap lineup, and it's been kind of fun. So it looks like we're the 4th pick here. We have to fill out 1 QB, 1 running back, 2 wideouts, a tight end, and a flex. So I don't think we want to be like the last guy to take a quarterback. I don't know if we can get Kelsey, that'd be great too.
I would love Kelsey. He's the number 1 guy on my list.
So I recorded last night. I just did a 10-minute video doing one, and I got the number 1 pick. So I took Devontae Adams. Next pick was Kelsey. So you see Kelsey go right away. And so that makes us not want to get a tight end. But do we take we're going to get our chance at quarterbacks here,
Right.
or do we punt and see what's available for the next round? Are we okay with Tom Brady here?
I mean, those felt like the top 3 guys.
So do we have to lock in Tyreek Hill with one of these picks?
I think Tyreek feels like a guy you gotta click.
And then as far as running backs, we both expressed our love for Ronald Jones.
Can we wait on Rojo? Of the quarterbacks, I feel like Rodgers and Allen are the clear guys that I'm liking over Mahomes and Brady.
What do you think about Aaron Jones or Godwin here?
Godwin's probably got a safe floor.
It's kind of a big drop. I think Evans and Brown, that's a big drop off at receiver.
That's a pretty big drop off. And I would take Godwin over any of these guys lined up. So if we wanted to go for the scarcity there.
And we still have one more flex spot here. So we'll see what happens.
I'm definitely interested in Rojo at running back for sure. I think that's a sneaky one that we can wait on a little bit.
And the guy that I actually hit last night was Singletary, just because he fell way too. I think he got him as the 5th pick, and Singletary was the last starter available. So Jones goes next. If we can get one of the top quarterbacks, Mahomes, Allen, or Rodgers, I'm feeling pretty good. Just as long as it's not Brady. For some reason, we don't want Brady, right? That's the one we don't want.
I think Brady's the one that we could avoid here. I think if anyone's going to have a game to forget, it could be Brady. Then again, these quarterbacks. The thing about these quarterbacks is you can't really. They're all going to be okay. I just think that the ceiling of Rodgers and Allen is much higher.
And I guess so. If we do miss out on Allen and Rodgers, Tom Brady's our last pick.
Right.
Not going to mess around. So the window's open.
Darrell Williams.
If it depends on this pick right here. We're up in 3 picks. So Allen and Rodgers, those are our prime spots.
Yes.
Jam Bam's asking real quick, what are your thoughts on Darrell Williams' yards prop? I think it might be gold.
He went Leonard Fournette. Oh my God.
So we get Allen or Rodgers. What do we do here, man?
Man, that's crazy. Could we potentially pair a Tunyon Allen or Tunyon Rodgers stack, or just go Allen naked? It seems
this is a Packer show. I'm taking Rodgers. This is a hard call.
Because then who's the next best tight end after Robert Tunyon? Man, you got Dawson Knox and Gronk.
Do we just take Ronald Jones? We get our pick at running back as well? Is it Roach?
Yeah, I think. Man, that's crazy.
Gamble on tight end. If it's Dawson Knox, worst case scenario, we did say that the Chiefs do allow tight end points, so I think I'm okay with punting on that.
Yeah, okay, I think that's fair.
So Ronald Jones here is the guy.
Yeah, I think Roto's got a nice high ceiling for sure.
Now I don't remember what our Jam Bam was asking our thoughts on Darrell Williams. Even if Clyde Edwards plays, I like Darrell Williams. I can't remember what his odds were though. What his rushing yards were, 41.5. I think let's wait and see, because this might change. If we see Clyde Edwards-Helaire is active, those numbers might come down, and then that might make me like Darrell even more, just because I can't see. Darrell Williams is a veteran player. Reed trusts him. I have good feelings for Darrell Williams. I think we just got to wait and see if Clyde gets active there.
We're definitely feeding into this Green Bay Tampa game, which we did mention is that's the one that I think could really spike and be more of a 60 over. So I'm okay with that. That goes along with our train of thought here.
MVS, that would have been nice. I wanted to get at least one pack because we're heavy on Bucks. We got Jones and Godwin. We're up to pick here. We could just take Singletary as our flex.
Yeah, when you're looking at who's left here, I think he's the best flex option.
We get the last 2 picks here.
We are going to end up with Dawson Knox as our tight end. So I guess the question then is, how much do we want to stack Buffalo?
I guess we got skin in every game here. So I think we both agree though, Singletary at flex.
Yeah, I think Singletary's a lock. And this is a tough pick.
At this point, I think it's got to be Knox. This is our
Rafe's the only guy that we could. Yeah, it's got to be Knox.
We're betting on a touchdown here. I think I'm okay with this. So this is cool. We got skin in each team. Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers. We got the best choice probably there besides Devontae. Ronald Jones and Chris Godwin from Tampa Bay. We got Tyreek the Freak. We got Knox and Singletary. So this is kind of fun. Again, this is we get entered into a pool of 500 total drafts, and I think first place was 150. So if you want to check out drafters.com, check out that link below. But I don't know, man. Any final thoughts on today's show? Otherwise, we'll probably just load these up on the website real quick. And I'm so excited, man. I don't know what else to say. I'm ready for this. It's very excited. The games are unbelievable, dude. It's
good. It's a good 4 teams.
Allen.
Yes. So Packers Bills. That's what we're putting our stamp on for the Super Bowl, huh?
I think so, man. At this point, no matter what the outcome is, it's going to be a damn good Super Bowl. I think this combination of AFC and NFC championships game is probably one of the more excited I've been for the Final Four. At this point, it doesn't even matter who it is. But I would like I don't want to see Mahomes get to 2 right away. I think maybe have him work a little bit for it. I don't know. So I'm interested in Josh Allen. I think that'd be a hell of a game. Allen versus Rodgers, the 2 MVP potential candidates there. So that could be a lot of fun to watch.
Absolutely.
I don't know, man. Any other final thoughts? Or otherwise, we can get out of here.
I think we got 2 good games, and I think it's a lot to be excited about. So I'm glad we got good matchups. And let's see if Rodgers can get that second Super Bowl.
Yeah, man. And Jam Bam says defense wins championships. I think Green Bay might have the best defense left of teams. And that seems weird to say, but the way that Gary's playing,
it's playing good.
And then we watched the game last weekend, man. I got super excited about that NASCAR package with Darius Preston.
Yeah, I like that.
And Rashawn Gary. I don't think anyone can counter that at the moment right now. So I'm hoping we see a pretty good blitz day from Green Bay. So go Packers, go Buffalo at this point. But I don't know, man. I want to thank everyone in the chat room. We had Jam Bam, MHP. Sorry, Justin, I missed your basketball question earlier. We got Big T. And I don't know, man. For Jesse, you can follow him on Twitter at @theFellowJGM. You know where to find me. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a great day. And I don't know. Thanks. Peace.